Hello, it is me, Nosy, back again for a video response to Rob TheFallen835's video discussion on G1 likes / dislikes. So basically, likes and dislikes of G1, like your dislikes and likes. So I just thought to bring my 2 cents over because I haven't done a response for quite some time. So because there's just been there really hasn't been anything of interest as of late. There's been a lot of dead airtime, if I can call it that, with certain reviewers that they have been doing videos, but there's been nothing else to really talk about and engaging, to engage in responding to something. The only thing that's really been feeding the taste buds is the Facebook Transformers YouTube group thing. Completely fucked up the name there, but anyways. So today I'm actually going to be responding to Rob, a great guy, Rob, TheFallen835's video on G1 likes and dislikes. Well, to be honest with you, straight away I don't have any dislikes. I do not have any dislikes of G1 at all. People will probably be like, "Really? Are you high? Are you on something?" But no, I genuinely do not have any issues with G1 at all. To be quite honest, the reason why is because, yes, G1 was extremely corny because it was made back in the 80s, and a lot of cartoons back in the 80s era, and a lot of cartoons before that in the 70s and 60s, basically, but let's just keep it to the 80s. But in the 80s, a lot of cartoons were extremely corny. Transformers G1 was extremely corny in some aspects, which were, well, actually nearly every episode was really corny. There might be the odd blemish within the episode of maybe like a character transforming or something. You might see a character kind of somehow mesh together somehow, the way that they've had to put the cells onto the background and the painted background and stuff, when they're animating it and they do the cell drawings and stuff. Sometimes you might see some little blemishes, and I don't see that as a dislike. I see that as a little bit of just laugh at it, I do know that I have seen a fair few little mistakes in the when they've been doing the animation side of it. But no, I don't have any dislikes, so I'm not going to say any dislikes on it at all because I love G1. So this video is just going to be all a positive like of G1. Now, why I like G1 is because, one, I love the toys. I always mention this every time I review a G1 figure. Yes, there is basically G1 toys, they're very hit and miss with a lot of people. There's only so many that people really like, which is all well and good. That is everybody's opinion, and everyone's got the right to that opinion. But to me, I love the G1 figures. I love all of them. I mean, you can see 2 of them behind me, Scorponok and you see 3 behind me, Metroplex as well, and Power Master Prime. Basically, I love them because, yes, I mean, look at those 2, look at those 3 things behind me, right? Metroplex and all that lot. They are bricks, literal bricks, with a little bit of articulation, which is very, very, very minimal. But yet, I really enjoy them. I really enjoy the G1 toys immensely. Yes, they don't, thank you to Masterpiece bringing G1 figures that had barely any articulation, but then bringing us the awesomeness like this, which is G1 relevant, but yet it is extremely articulated. And I thank Takara and Hasbro for bringing this to us. I thank you so much this is literally on a pride place on top of my computer desk in my room, because he is superior. But yeah, so it's thanks to Masterpiece that's now re-releasing and bringing out a lot of G1 classic figures, but updating them to modern day standard when it comes to articulation. And also the third party people are also doing that. I do apologise, I keep rubbing the nose. Yeah, it's a habit I get into when I'm doing a video. I always seem to rub my nose. I do apologise. But getting back to the track, getting back on track with this. So my likes for G1 Transformers. I mean, like I said, I love the toys. There's not much imagination that goes into the toys whatsoever. There's no playability factor with barely any of them. But yet you can use your imagination and you can create something with these G1 figures, and I think that's why G1, the toy line anyways, really did well, because it allowed children to, or kids back in that time, it allowed them to be more creative, and even though they had limited amount of movability, they could still have a good time playing with them. And it's the whole thing of transforming into a car or jet or whatever, and then back to a robot. Kids loved that, and us big kids, we still love that. But going on to the actual TV show itself, G1 Transformers TV show, I love it. G1 is the starting, but no, GoBots was actually the starting project for bringing Transformers to America. Even though GoBots was extremely crap, the only character from GoBots I actually like is Cycle, which is essentially Megatron, but as a motorcycle. But Cycle's actually pretty cool. I actually like Cycle. I want to get a Cycle toy actually, but they're pretty expensive. So when I've seen it on eBay, I've seen it pretty expensive. But GoBots was, I'm mentioning GoBots in the Transformers video, but GoBots was the first TV to kind of test the whole Transformers thing. It did okay, but the toys were alright, I suppose, but the show kind of got cancelled because it didn't do very well. But then Transformers, Hasbro brought us Transformers, the proper one that we all know and love. Back in '84, yes. Thank you to the brilliance of the Japanese that actually came up with the idea of Transformers to begin with. But yeah, I love it because it kicked off a massive frenzy, and it was revolutionary. It revolutionised toys. Especially in America and elsewhere, in Europe as well, because obviously they would have come to Europe, obviously. Unfortunately, when G1, I wasn't born in '84, I was born in '89, so I missed G1's original airtime. So for me, I started watching G2, which was what was re-aired back in the '90s. So that's how I know of G1. I mean, at first, when I watched G2, I liked it. I really loved G2. Without me even knowing back then, when I was probably only about 5 or 6 years old when that was on TV. When was it? Was it about 95 when it came on? I can't remember. I think it was about 95, 96 when G2. I can't remember, but it was definitely the 90s. And I remember watching G2 when that was airing, which was obviously the re-release of the TV show G1, obviously, and I really enjoyed it. And then, obviously, everything else that followed after that in the 90s as well, such as like RRD and Beast Wars, but we're not talking about them. But yeah, it revolutionised G1. Thank you to G1, we wouldn't have these toys. If it wasn't for Hasbro going to Japan and seeing these revolutionary and interesting toys that Japan, or Takara should I say, were producing, and then Hasbro brought them over to America and released them as like a Diaclone line first, Diaclones, and then they made a TV series, and then it just went skyrocketed into massive popular domain. So yeah, I have no dislikes, because really, if you dislike G1, well, again, this is my personal opinion, if you dislike G1, then that G1 is the starting block for Transformers, and if it wasn't for Hasbro producing a cartoon series and releasing these toys, helping, as well as Takara release them in Japan, and then Hasbro bringing them over to America and elsewhere, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have it today. We wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here collecting them. And a lot of you guys watching this video also wouldn't be here collecting them either. You'd have probably been collecting something else. Probably nothing is nowhere near as good as Transformers, most likely. But yeah, I've got no reason to dislike it. Yes, it's extremely corny. Yes, the toys are extremely unrealistic. Well, to the point, some of them are pretty unrealistic, but some of them are really good. Like G1 Jazz, for instance, brilliant toy. I really want to get that toy. I haven't got it, but I really want it. Optimus Prime, that is just that. Optimus Prime was my first G1 figure that I got when I started collecting again, and I've never regretted it. I've never regretted having that toy. He is just amazing. Yes, very, very, very corny, but yet I can just imagine a child back in 84, 85 when that toy was released, and enjoying the hell out of it and playing with it, putting his trailer on the back of the truck, etc. It's just amazing. I really do love the Optimus Prime figure. I need to get myself G1 Megatron. I haven't got a G1 Megatron, which I really, really want to get. But anyway. But yes, so yeah, this video's all about the positives, in my opinion. I really love G1, and if it wasn't for it, we wouldn't be here today collecting these pieces of plastic, and some of them are metal, but mostly plastic. We won't be doing it. We'd probably most likely just be collecting Power Ranger stuff more than anything else, which was a massive force back in the 90s as well. Yeah, so that's that. I can't say any more because I'm just going to go going around circles and roundabouts. But that is my response to you, Rob. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else watching has enjoyed it. So, like I keep saying, I just can't say anything bad about it. I love G1. I love playing with the little mini bots. I love playing with the other figures like the deluxes and all that lot, and also the big bastards behind me, as you can see. I mean, a lot of people hate Metroplex, and I can understand to the point. I mean, I've got G1 Metroplex there. I love G1 Metroplex. When I got Metroplex, I was like really, really happy because he was one of my holy grails, was Metroplex. And when I finally got it, which was before Auto Assembly, I think back in 2000 I can't remember. I don't know if it was before my first Auto Assembly or if it was before my second Auto Assembly I ever went to. I bought it off eBay before I went, and then I found out Auto Assembly a bit cheaper, and then I learnt my lesson. Don't buy things before Auto Assembly because you might see it cheaper. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to leave it here. So thank you very much for watching this. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll be back very soon with more reviews, videos, or whatever in upcoming future. And also look out for the next podcast episode as well, people. The Nosy and Storm podcast episode should be up hopefully tonight, which is the 19th, the 26th, sorry, which is Sunday. So hopefully this weekend you will see another podcast episode in the meantime while this video uploads. So thank you very much. Goodbye. See you later. Bye bye.